Er war am Ende die 1, hat 5 Turniere gewinnen können innerhalb von 2017, hat sich dadurch die Tourcard gesichert und am Samstag hier sein allererstes Bühnenmatch gespielt oder besser gesagt gewonnen. Und jetzt steht er im Achtelfinale. Herzlich willkommen, Cool Hand Luke Humphries. Waste time with the masterpiece, to waste time with the masterpiece. You should be. Cool Hand Luke tritt an gegen die aktuelle Nummer 3 der Welt. Er hat im letzten Jahr das beste Debütjahr gespielt, das die PDC je gesehen hat. Er ist der aktuelle Weltmeister, Voltage Rob Cross.
About to get back underway at the German Darts Grand Prix. One half of the draw has been set up for tonight's quarterfinals. We're now going to look at the other half of the draw. And the world champion Rob Cross had a thriller last night with the ferret Johnny Clayton. 104 average from the world number 3 compared to the Welshman's 100 average. Getting a bit of revenge for that defeat in the semi-finals of the Players' Championship finals in Minehead, the home of World Darts. But here in Munich, Rob Cross now faces Luke Humphries, a player he has not encountered as yet. Rob Cross has only been around a year in PDC darts. Luke Humphries, well, this is his first full year as a pro, but his first stage win here this weekend, beating Willie O'Connor, and then averaged 100 in a 6-1 victory over the Premier League star and Welsh number 1, Gerwyn Price. Luke Humphries was on a 9-darter in his practice darts just off the side of the stage here before he went on there to take on the world champion. And he walks onto Cake by the Ocean, a song actually suggested by this man sat alongside me for commentary on this game. Chris Murphy, a man who enjoys Cake by the Ocean and indeed anywhere else as long as it fits in with the number of sins he's allowed a day.
Flag is Rob to throw first. Game on.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Don't.
But we've seen some really dominant displays. I think that's an understatement this afternoon. And we were saying before that each day seems to have had some kind of trend.
Nice.
Thrilling matches was yesterday's, along with big finishes. And Rob Cross was involved in one of those. But Luke Humphries is a man who's had a couple of dominant displays already in this tournament. Having gained his first ever on-stage victory here on Saturday against Willie O'Connor. He then pummeled Gerwyn Price 6-1. A win that he described as his biggest in his career. This would supersede that. But Rob Cross was in fantastic form, wasn't he, to see off the ferret. There was one ridiculous leg in that match as well. And it might well have been the crucial one.
Yeah, 22 darter that dragged their averages down from the 100 and teens.
100.
But I do like the look of Luke Humphries. He's not only obviously a very talented individual, winning the development tour last year, but he seems just really confident and seems to enjoy testing himself against the best.
It's a similar scenario to the one that Rob Cross appeared on the PDC tour with. Hang on a minute. Double 12.
Yeah,
what a start for Rob Cross. 1-2-5 out, just letting Luke Humphries know that Cross is boss. Or is he?
180.
Yeah, it's before they interrupted us with 1-2-5 finish and a 180. Just saying that it's Rob Cross coming into the senior tour having won the challenge tour, didn't he? And Luke Humphries likewise had won one of the second tier tours, the development tour. And no one really knows what to expect of him. Nobody would have suggested that Rob Cross would even win a title last year. He won a few.
Yeah, he did.
He went on to be crowned as the world champion. Now,
140.
not many people would have written that script, and no one's suggesting that Luke Humphries is capable of doing anything similar, but
100.
he is a player to watch out for.
I'll suggest he's capable of doing it.
Go on then.
He's capable of doing it. It's my suggestion. I'm not saying he will, I'm just saying he's capable. He's shown us. He's just gone average 95 and then 100. Dropped 3 legs in 2 games, one against a Premier League player.
I mean, I did suggest this to you before we saw any of those performances this year.
You suggested that he was capable of winning the world title.
No, I suggested that he was a player to watch out for.
Yeah, you did. You did.
And then he lost his on-stage match against Darren Johnson last week, and I was greeted by tweets that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Darren Johnson did average 103.
51 ball.
66.
Well, this would hurt.
60.
125 to start for Rob Cross. How about a 160 to follow it up?
Knocks the 60 off, but he may not come back. Indeed he doesn't. So Humphries gets a leg on the board. It will not be a third consecutive whitewash here at the Zenith in Munich, after convincing displays from Peter Wright and Joe Cullen, who will face each other in the second quarter-final game tonight. That will follow the clash between James Wade and Max Hopp, the German number 1.
Yeah, Humphries also won a Challenge Tour event last year to go with 5 Development Tour titles. Takes some doing that. And the reason I describe them as second-tier tours, I'm not quite sure which is the more difficult.
No, it is very difficult to judge, isn't it? Because
97.
you speak to some of the guys who work on both tours, some of the officials, and they say, you know what, when we go to those development tour weekends, we're watching 16, 17-year-olds winning games with big ton plus averages, you know, going 12, 11 darters all over the place. And I think because it's a shorter format game as well, you can end up
134.
You can end up seeing astronomical numbers being chucked. And you can run into one of those performances at any time. So if you're going to go and win over the course of the day, let alone win as many titles as Luke Humphries has won, you're going to have to play some really good stuff at times.
We had a dart, I believe, to knock Dimitri van den Berg out of the World Youth Championship on Dimitri's run to the final, which he went on to win.
140.
But as a result of winning the development tour, that's how he got his place at the World Championship, wasn't it, for his first on-stage match? And he learnt the hard way against Jeff Smith in that prelim at Ali Palais.
81.
But look, every time we see him, he's improving a little bit.
He may be about to take the lead here against the world champion. And that's exactly what he's done, with a clean 2-dart check for a 14-darter and a break of throw. And, well, if the trend does continue, where we're seeing annihilations through this afternoon session,
60.
Rob Cross had better watch out.
And Humphries is going to have plenty of chances to keep improving, because he's qualified for the next couple of European Tour events as well. I mean, it's a sublime record, that is, to qualify for the first 4.
Rob Cross didn't manage it. Took him 4 to qualify for the first one, I think. Admittedly, once he did get there, he was very, very good. He kept on making it. I think there was only one occasion when he didn't make the final session of action.
Not quite happy with how it's going so far. You could just see there Rob Cross becoming frustrated with his throw. I know he has a
57.
throw that really is admired by greater analysts than us in the world of darts. Wayne Marlow says everything about it, particularly the follow-through.
Yeah.
Rob Cross's throw is the best in the game.
Yeah, the throw, technically the throw is very good. The temperament is almost perfect. I mean, we talked about that so often, how he seems just oblivious about everything else going on around him or what his opponent's doing. He can just get on and play his own game, which sounds easy, but it's not.
Are you sure? It's one of the interesting things about many interesting things about darts is that no players have the same throw.
100.
I'll tell you who Luke Humphries' throw does remind me of a little bit is Lisa Ashton.
Oh, that's a shout. Double 16 to break straight back. Stop, wipe of the hand, address the target, misses outside.
There's a chance here for a 3-1 lead. He's capable.
87.
In the end, he just layers up, and usually with 3 darts in hand at this section of the board, Rob Cross's opponent does not return to the hockey in that leg.
Mid-leg of Rob to throw first. Game on.
Rob Cross still searching for a first European Tour title, and he's still searching for a first title of this year, assuming that you don't count the World Championship as being this year.
108.
But he's fired in a third 180.
It was this year.
Well, yeah, all right.
60.
Spent too much time together this weekend. We're arguing too much now. We need something to make it stop, and it's not going to be a 9-darter.
Of course it isn't. Doesn't happen on the European Tour. Been over this. The curse of Ross Smith. Gibraltar, 2013.
125.
Hasn't been a 9-dart finish on any kind of live streamed action so far in 2018. Rob Cross might well have 2 180s in the leg though. And after 9 darts, he's left himself 61.
81. Robbie requires 61.
Well, Humphries not on a finish. He can go anywhere he likes here. I would not be looking at the bullseye here, because that can happen. But then again, he's Rob Cross. He's the world champion. He'll be happy with double 4.
53.
Or will he? But that is the danger, isn't it? When you've got... With Luke Humphries not on a finish, you can go anywhere you like there. But if you hit the bullseye, then you're probably looking at double 4, and then you can go double 2. You get stuck in the madhouse.
Well, he's chasing them around now, and he is in the madhouse.
No score. Luke require 145.
Could he pay the ultimate price?
You see... Oh, hang on. Oh, treble 19 would have given him a dart for the leg. So had Rob Cross gone for 15s or treble 11, then he'd be looking at his favourite bit of the board down by the 16s and the 8s.
He's opened up the bed there, though. Edging closer. They're not close enough.
Score.
7 darts missed in this leg by Rob Cross.
This is that kind of leg that he had against Johnny Clayton yesterday, and he managed to win it.
43.
I know that Johnny Clayton himself felt that that was the pivotal leg in the match.
I think they both said the same, didn't they?
Game shot the 5th leg. Rob Cross. 6th leg is Luke to throw first.
Well, comedy celebration from Cross. But he wouldn't have been laughing.
70.
Humphries taking the opportunity that was presented there.
You wonder what that does to an opponent, don't you? When you're so far behind in a leg, you think, I'm not going to win this. World number 3's got darts and darts and darts to win this. And
137.
then he keeps on missing, and he keeps on missing, and he keeps on missing. You finally get there, you get your one chance, it's one dart, you miss, and then he goes straight out. I wonder how much of a... It's almost just teasing you.
59.
And then he goes and kicks off the next leg like this.
140.
Back-to-back 2 treble visits.
Well, that's what he did, didn't he, against Clayton yesterday? I think he followed with a 15 and an 11 darter for that 22.
the last 3 legs, 15, 11, 14. Rob Cross. He does hit an awful lot of 180s. He does regularly take out massive finishes. You would expect. He has had 1 9-darter, Rob Cross.
100.
In his career. He's actually on the Challenge Tour. You would expect that he'd be a prime candidate to be firing into some perfect legs, and not on the European Tour, obviously. But
100.
it's probably only a matter of time before we see him do one.
Humphries now maybe in need of this checkout. We've found a way into the treble 20.
81.
Hasn't threatened the bull. Yeah, it was a long way away, Luke.
86.
And he might just be a little bit further behind in this match. Rob Cross. May only be a dart of the ball for him. Has he found the double there?
No, it's a single. He gave it a chance.
61.
He's not happy with that.
59.
Will it be a happy Humphries at the end of this visit?
Incredible focus from Luke Humphries, but it hasn't resulted in him hitting the double, and now he's the frustrated one. And I think that frustration is born out of the fact that he knows he's had chances, because Rob Cross here, he's there for the taking. This is nothing like what he played yesterday against Johnny Clayton. Nowhere near the standard that we've come to expect from Rob Cross.
Well, he's hit 4 180s, but you're right, in general, and certainly the finishing is pretty horrific by his standards. And if Luke Humphries was playing as he had in the previous 2 matches this weekend, he probably wouldn't be 3-all, he'd probably be in the lead.
Game on.
Well, it's going to be the closest match that we've had this afternoon. However it ends from here. Rampant wins for Wade, Hopp and Cullen. Still to come.
85.
Darrell Gurney taking on Ian White for the right to face the winner of this one tonight. Keegan Brown against Darren Webster, and then Michael Van Gerwen, the world #1, against Alan Norris. Van Gerwen hoping to
137.
put a few things right from yesterday. He was disgusted with his own display, and I'm wondering if Rob Cross is having a similar feeling about this display so far.
Well, it was at this stage of the tournament last weekend that Rob Cross suffered a surprise defeat to Richard North, an unseeded player who went on to make the semi-finals.
180.
There's a 5th maximum for the world champion, though.
It's brilliant or bust for Rob Cross in this match, isn't it? The 5 180s, the 125 checkout in the first leg. It's 127 he's looking at here.
Yeah, sensible decision with Humphries not on a finish.
95.
To leave his favourite bit of the board.
$85. Robbie Roy, 32.
Let's get things back on track. With a tidy little 13-darter.
8 legged Luke to throw first. Game on. $58. $60.
Well, we saw last weekend in Leverkusen, the afternoon session, Rob Cross was beaten, but
140.
James Wade, Peter Wright and Michael Van Gerwen all put in very impressive displays to make a statement of their intent. And indeed, it was Wright and Van Gerwen who ended up contesting the final, with Wade suffering a heroic defeat in the semis to Peter Wright.
Luke Humphries there opted to take aim at the 20 portion of the board. Had he found the same outcome on the 19s, if you're on a finish right now, not going to matter on this occasion.
$88. 100.
He's still very much in this match.
75.
And this checkout would tie it up at 4 apiece. He's got himself 2 darts. Only needs
On
one.
the 8th leg, Luke Humphries. 9th leg is Rob to throw first. Game on.
It went all the way, that match with Richard North, didn't it?
It did,
In
yeah.
Leverkusen, and it could be heading for a similar situation for the world champion.
And there you see a couple of scrappy legs, 7 visit legs in the 5th and 6th leg. They shared them.
96.
A couple of 14 darters for Luke. Certainly in this match, not a great deal between them in the average.
140.
It doesn't make a huge amount of difference. There you see, 4 points, not much in it there. Richard North managed to beat Rob Cross when his average was 6 points lower than his last week.
And at times, both players have been a little bit shaky on the double, so even if one player races away with a leg, there's no certainty that they're going to wrap it up.
And you see, 1 in 3 for Luke Humphries, 1 in 4 for Rob Cross. Humphries is going to leave a finish when he comes back to the board. It's just a case of what finish he can leave. And if Rob Cross doesn't find a treble, that's such an important dart. That could be a huge dart in the context of this tournament, let alone this match.
60. Robbie McGuire.
Well, similar shots.
Oh, the chance has gone immediately. Oh, it's a shocker. And he's left himself a finish he'd need 3 darts to see off anyway.
Not improved the situation at all, Rob Cross there. Luke Humphries. Well, that was a horror dart too.
Robbie McGuire, 99.
Gets the treble. Could be single 10. Okay. He does love this bit up the top, double 18.
81.
But it doesn't help him out, and Rob Cross is having all kinds of trouble, and he looks vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable. Double 5 for Luke Humphries to take a step towards the biggest shock of this weekend so far, and he's missed inside. 17. And then he's hit the double 1 as well. Oh, it's a nightmare.
18.
It is a nightmare for Humphries.
On the 9th leg,
Well, that just squeezed in the corner there for Rob Cross. A very nervy end to that leg for both men, and we may well see a very nervy end to this match. Or that might just settle him. It's madness, isn't it? Couldn't hit a thing between them for the last minute or so. One goes 180, the other one follows with a 140.
60.
You don't get many better opportunities to beat Rob Cross than what's been presented to Luke Humphries here today. And he might yet do
100.
it. He might yet do it.
Well, level pegging in the leg, so Humphries' favourite to level up the match and force a decider.
85.
Although the chances of that have just been diminished somewhat by the stray dart into the 5 section. And Cross just needs to stay straight to leave.
131.
Finish, he's done even better. Because when he returns, he will only need to find 1 treble.
Rob Cross
140.
has been averaging below 90 for a significant chunk of this game. He has not done that in any of the 19 Pro Tour games he's played this year. Bullseye for a 12 darter. He started it with a 12.
105.
And he very nearly finishes it with a 12. But Humphries might be taking this all the way.
Yep, the man called Cool Hand. Can he keep a cool head? Well, that's unlucky.
18. Robbie McGuire.
Bad fortune for Luke Humphries, and Rob Cross returns to try and steal this win. It has not been pretty just got a little uglier for Rob Cross.
18.
Humphries gets another chance. Double 4.
Games on the 10th leg. Luke Humphries.
Somehow holds his nerve to
Final
level
leg,
this
Rob
tie
Humphries.
and take it all the way. 4 games this afternoon have all been one-sided affairs. This has been a scrappy slugfest between these two.
81.
And Humphries might yet pull off a huge shock.
Can he find one big leg?
43.
Scrap continues. Sometimes
100.
players aren't at their best. It makes for great drama, doesn't it? And we do have a tense close to this tungsten tussle.
81.
Flapping around like Cameron Menzies. Anything but cool from Cool Hand Luke.
Hot head Humphries.
132.
Man who can usually keep a cool head at any given situation.
125.
Been in many more pressurised spots than this one.
$100.
88 left for the match. Humphries needs to leave something he can take out.
95.
Oh, well, he can do that.
88.
It's a frustration, but it forces Rob Cross to go the bullseye route if he can't find a treble. Does have the treble though, which leaves him double 7 for a 6-5 win. And the world champion
and the match,
squeaks through to the
Rob Cross.
quarter-finals. He can consider himself pretty fortunate there to come through against the unseeded Luke Humphries, who has impressed this weekend. All right, it was his worst performance in terms of the numbers of this entire European Tour event, Cool Hand Luke, but he really did test the world champion Rob Cross. Cross, the first man through to the quarters in this half of the draw. He will face either Darrell Gurney, the Grand Prix champion, or Ian White, a winner on the Pro Tour this year, something that Rob Cross has not yet managed to do in 2018. Those two on the way in just a few moments. You'll be seeing a lot more of Rob Cross tonight and a lot more of Luke Humphries. I can assure you of that, not just on the next couple of Euro Tours that he's qualified for already.
Darrell Gurney oder Ian Diamond White, die Nummer 14 der Welt. Trotzdem, das war ein richtig, richtig gutes Turnier von Luke Humphries. Einer, von dem wir mit Sicherheit noch eine Menge hören werden in Zukunft. Cool Hand Luke. Rob, that was crazy. That was really crazy.
Yeah, didn't really go, so yeah, I'm glad to win. That's all I can say on it, really.
What is the most difficult thing when stuff like that happen? Is it to stay positive, not to think about double problems?
I didn't really think about it, it just wouldn't go. So later on I'm going to have to be better, definitely, and that's got to change. So I think it will though, I think it'll be fine.
Okay. Luke, big talent? We will hear from him in the future, much more.
Only young, and only just started this year. Great future ahead of him. He can big scorer, usually reliable on his doubles. I was lucky today because obviously he had chances just like me, but it fell my way, and I'm grateful. But he's definitely a big prospect for the future.
See you later again. Thank you, Rob. Rob Cross. Er sagt, ich habe gar nicht so viel